The new jobless numbers are in, and they're not particularly good. They come less than 24 hours after Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, said you need more stimulus. He said we're far from recovering from this economy. So what do these new jobless numbers mean? We need more stimulus. Meantime, what else is in the third stimulus package? In this video, I'll be going over the debate over FPUC in the third stimulus package, the business grants, the business loans. I'll also be going over rent, utilities, food, mortgage assistance as well. And then I'll be going over to hazard pay and the big issues about child assistance, paid sick leave, and also financial aid for college students. Really great news are the other provisions in there. But the push seems to be a little bit off of focus. I'll go over Bernie Sanders' recent comments and Janet Yellen's comments about stimulus. Ultimately, the great news is that the stimulus package is close to finality. We're almost to the finish line. We're almost getting over there. But the amounts need some tinkering. And this is the time to tinker. Get ready to tinker. I'm here, you're here, and let's tinker away. As someone said, the tow truck crash or breakdown near the finish line, it did not break down near the finish line. We're almost over there. And if we need help, we'll get the Cadillac with the calcino and sirloin to help push that tow truck over the finish line. This is Third Stimulus Check and Third Stimulus Package. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. What a great afternoon it is. It's Thursday afternoon, and Sirloin says hello. People have been asking, is Sirloin okay? You haven't heard from Sirloin, the lobbyist for the cows, who always got all that stimulus before us. He has been on a little bit of vacation. He's looking for that new electric Cadillac, so I appreciate all your comments asking where he is. But in this recording, I'm going to go over FPUC. I'm going to go over the business grants. I'm going to go over the stimulus check again. And then I'll be cutting back to those jobs numbers and what does that mean for stimulus and where will the new stimulus bills land? You've been asking that as well. I've been asking this additionally. And then I'll be covering some of Janet Yellen and Bernie Sanders' recent comments across the board. So much happening for today. I'm really excited for you. It's all good news. But if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is the best darn channel there is. The most comprehensive financial news you'll find. From Wall Street to Main Street, from my home to your home. Thank you for joining me on Afternoons at LALATE. So please subscribe. We're trying to add about another 1,000 followers in the next few days. Let's do it. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The link is at the top of this description. Get access to PDFs that explain what's in the third stimulus package before anyone else. Because with the exception of the stimulus check, nothing's automatic in the stimulus package. You got to apply for it. You need to know how to get it and how to pounce. And with that, in this recording, I'm going to go over all those details and more. So let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that we need more stimulus. And ultimately, the stimulus that's in the stimulus package is good, but there should be more of it. $1,400 stimulus checks for individuals, $2,800 for a married couple, $1,400 for children, $1,400 for adult dependents. Yes, you're supposed to get $3,200 for adult dependents. But the bill, which is currently in the subcommittees, especially the House Ways and Means Subcommittee, which is dealing with the stimulus check, says only $1,400 for adult dependents. Go on social media, tweet the elected officials from the Ways and Means Committee, call them up, Richard Neal. Say, why is this adult dependence at $1,400 should be at $3,200? If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security or railroad benefits, $1,400 stimulus check for you as well. Meantime, you always ask, what happened to the $200 a month and the new benchmark and the new step up and the lifetime increase of about 20%? What happened to that? Joe Biden has been silent on it. The president has been silent on it. But you should not be silent on anything. I'm not silent. Take this video and retweet it. Tag your elected officials. Call up Elizabeth Warren. Tweet E. Warren. She's the person who can write the bill and introduce to the Senate. Why? Last weekend you saw not one but two bills introduced to the Senate, not to the House. Remember, Nancy Pelosi's in the House. Other people in the Senate. Bernie Sanders in the Senate. Elizabeth Warren in the Senate. Chuck Schumer in the Senate. They can introduce bills. Last Friday, they introduced a bill for $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. Then they also introduced a bill for $1,000 for a baby when born. Well, they can do one for you for SSI and SSDI. Tweet them as well. Sanders says we're facing a strong cliff and about to fail. So if this doesn't kind of spill over to people who make $300,000, we're in trouble. What I think is support, most people understand is, but to say to a worker in Vermont or California, any place, that if you're making, let's say, $52,000, you're too rich to get this help, that's the full benefit, I think that's absurd. Janet Yellen also recently told News, there's absolutely no reason we should suffer through a long, slow recovery. I would expect that this package is passed and we get back to full employment next year. Long-term unemployment numbers are not good in this country. Earlier today, we saw a different number. Remember, you see two numbers about unemployment that impact your stimulus check. The first one is a weekly number. It's every Thursday morning before sunrise. The other number is once a month. Last week, you saw the once a month number. That covers how many new jobs are in the economy created that month. It was horrible. 6,000 new jobs in the month of January. That's not working. This number, this Thursday, this morning, showed how many new jobless claims there are in the country this last week. These are people who newly went on unemployment that were not on unemployment before. It was higher than Wall Street expected, close to 800,000 people. This is a horrible number. We had 22 weeks at 1 million. We've had weeks at 900,000. It was $200,000 before the pandemic started. We are nowhere improving whatsoever. So ultimately, you have to see that the stimulus needs to start improving these unemployment numbers. Yesterday, Jerome Powell spoke about your stimulus check and spoke about stimulus. He's the head of the Federal Reserve. He's an economist. He likes numbers like I like numbers and you like numbers. And he said, wait a second, I don't think this economy is back to normal unless we have widespread employment across all demographics. Translation, if you see the housing market good, that means nothing for another part of the economy. You have to have all walks of life back to employment. And we don't have that. The number this morning showed over 20 million people are currently on unemployment across the country. That's a huge number. So what does that mean for you? Well, FPUC is in the third stimulus package. It's currently in the Unemployment House Subcommittee, or the Employment Subcommittee. And that Employment Subcommittee is dealing with the provisions that concern FPUC. Crisis support for unemployed workers. Here is the PDF, if you're a viewer, if you're a member of this channel. This is the one that concerns FPUC. It's dated February 8th, so just a few days ago. The Crisis Support for Unemployment Workers Act. This is the one that you should reach out to committee members. It talks about the extension of the CARES Act unemployment provisions. Well, that would be nice if it was extending CARES Act the way it's supposed to extend CARES Act. A CARES Act, as you know, expired in July of 2020 at $600 a week. Well, we were promised it would be extension of the CARES Act thereafter. It's not been extended. President Biden promised us $600 a week from FPUC retro back to July. It's not come through. In fact, in the last few weeks, they said, okay, we're going to do $400 a week back to January this year, and then forward to September. They're not doing that either. So what is this provision currently? What does this bill draft in the House Subcommittee have? It has FPUC at $400 a week from March, not even today's date, in the future from that, March to August. What? Now, this is sort of weird in a lot of regards. First, the number's wrong. It should be $600, not $400 a week. Second, the retroness is ridiculous. Third, why is it ending in August? No one in their right mind thinks that we're back to normal in August. In fact, Janet Yellen's comment you heard me just mention, she said, we'll be back to unemployment normality next year. Well, why are you doing this to August? You're not even doing it to like September, November. You know, what are we going to do? We're going to have another bill in July? Yes. Nancy Pelosi, during a press conference today, said, please understand, this is just the first bill. We're working on the next bill, and we're going to do bills after bills after bills for this. And so ultimately, there's room to move, whether you're on SSI or SSDI or wondering about FPUC. But here's my position about it. If something's in a bill now, you need to fix it now. So FPUC is in the bill now. I want it fixed now. SSI and SSDI is not in the bill, so it's not like they're doing it wrong. It's just not even in the bill. So tweet the elected officials, call them up and say, hey, why is FPUC not retro to $600 a week? Next, the business grants. The business grants were detailed on this channel when I got a copy of the business grants provisions. And the business grants are sort of shocking. The business grants were to provide a series of things. As roll call detailed over the weekend, this week, Ways and Means, with the largest part of the package at $941 million, will set aside this week's Wednesday to Friday to figure out the markups. Ranking member Kevin Brady said the lawmakers aside will only make substantive changes. He's a Republican, trying to drag it out. But that is, Ways and Means has stimulus check, FPUC, and tax credits. Who has the business grants? That is the Small Business Administration subcommittee of the House. And what are they doing there? Well, I got a copy of the bill for them, and it's not particularly as promised as well. It says that EIDL grants will start up again. Good. That's good news. It means it'll allow new applicants. Oh, wonderful. The applicants appear to be more broadly covered than before. That's good. It does use the narrowly targeted language, which I don't particularly like. But the problem is the amount. The amount says $5,000 and something else. It should be $10,000. What are we doing here? Then after that is a new extension of the PPP. There's no indication I see about that loan that Joe Biden talked about during that massive media blitz on a Thursday evening right after he was elected. The president said that he's investing in small businesses, that he wants to give you a business grant to save your existing business, and he wants to give you a new business grant to go start a new business. I want innovation, he said. I want you to go start a new business. I don't see the business loan in there. Where is that business loan? You expect us to wait for that business loan in the next stimulus package? How about we start the business now? That's the first issue. The second issue is the business grant of $5,000. If that's all you're going to give is sort of, well, it's not sort of, it's insanely ridiculous. $5,000 doesn't cover someone's electric bill for 1 month. So what are we doing here? Now, ultimately, the second stimulus package says to pay the remainder of the $10,000 grant from the EIDL from 2020. So people who applied for the EIDL in 2020 are getting paid the remainder of $10,000 grant. I've seen them. They're actually getting paid. They're first doing low-income communities first, and they're going to pay everyone else. But this one says, hey, we're going to do another round of EIDL, but come and get it, and you're only going to get $5,000. Not very clear. And really unclear is the $5 million for the pretzel stand. I mean, I love a pretzel, don't get me wrong, and I love a hot dog wrapped in some bacon. You know I love that. But I don't think it's worth $5 million. The bill has in it a provision that says every restaurant location can get a grant, not a loan, a grant, up to $5 million, and includes food trucks and food stands or food carts. Yes, so put that hibachi on the corner and get a business license and say, hey, here I am, give me the $5 million. Really? So I'm not, I love the bacon on the hot dog, but I just don't think it's worth $5 million. I don't even think it's $1 million. Maybe, maybe, to which some viewers and myself think, okay, how about you give the hot dog stand the $5,000 grant for the EIDL and give all the existing businesses the $5 million grant? Sort of makes sense. But it's not quite clear, again, why restaurants are getting this insanely large amount of grant money and as a particular industry, and that no other industry is getting grants. That's incredible favoritism. That's favoritism at its very core, or lobbyists at its very core. That when you look at a business part of a third stimulus package, there's 4 provisions. 1, PPP for everyone. 2, EIDL for everyone. 3, some business loans for everyone. And then 4, enormous business grant just for the restaurant industry. That's just, those type of things don't sit well in people's mouths. When you see that one industry is getting this enormous amount of grants and no other industry is getting a grant whatsoever. And there you go. I'm back next with What the Chuck. I'll be live and answering your questions about unemployment, FPUC, the stimulus check, and more. What's important to understand is that these committees need to hear from you. Ways and Means, Small Business, and Labor need to hear from you, whether you're on SSI or waiting for that adult stimulus check that should have been $3,200 or wondering about the FPUC. Subscribe to this channel. Also like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay my life for more.